Esau is blessed right now. ... Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. And what I did was I looked up the word, I went to the word blessed in the scriptures. I'm in the blue letter right now. And the word, when you click on the word blessed, the word is, the Hebrew word is Barak. You know, you have Jake out there. They'll see each other and they'll say, have a blessed day. Well, if they truly understood the word blessed, the translation of somebody saying, or the meaning of somebody saying, have a blessed day, is saying, may you have slaves. And that's what Jake doesn't want. When we go out there on the highways and the byways and we speak to those wacky-tacky Christians, I'm talking about the Jakes, and we teach that the Edomites and the other nations are going into slavery under us, well, that's talking about a blessing. That's a blessing, man. You Jakes are not blessed. Jay-Z's not blessed. Floyd Mayweather's not blessed. LeBron James is not blessed. None of you are blessed. Because if you were blessed, you would have Edomites and other nations bow down to you, and you wouldn't have to pay them. You can actually have slaves. Going back to hardcore slavery in America, these Edomites that had slaves were blessed, and their blessing came by way of the gun, by way of their power, which was a blessing that was given to Esau by Isaac. They said, you're gonna be blessed, you're gonna have people bow down to you, but you're gonna have to train a gun on their head. You're gonna have to tie them up on a tree and whip them. This whole thing about us, going from one part of the earth to another part of the earth to serve slavery under the so-called white man. Watch the movies. You can't deny these movies. These movies' roots: Mandingo, drums, 12 years a slave. What's this? Birth of a Nation. These type of movies. Jake goes out and see these movies, and they'll get mad, but they can't do nothing to Esau. And all these movies are based. Some of them are actual accounts, like Roots. Mandingo was just a movie that somebody wrote about slavery. Esau being over Jake. And the movie 12 Years a Slave was the story of Solomon Northup, who was a free Jake in the North that had did a concert down there in D.C., and he was tricked and thrown into slavery, and then eventually he was redeemed, delivered out of slavery. And in the movie, it was a so-called white man that came back that was his friend, his good white friend. And you have Jake, they're talking about slavery left and right. They haven't forgot slavery. You got Edomites, you got this certain school where this Jake chick sued the school district in Texas, somewhere in Texas. That's an old story, because they took out her son brought home a book, and they basically took out slavery. And she said, no, we went into slavery. So Esau's trying to take it out of slavery to justify himself that, no, we never had slaves. That's how this devil operates. Vocab Malone, if you go to Revelation 1 to prove that the law was was a Jake, he'll tell you no. It said he had his whole head was white. He was a white man. But then he'll go, but at the same time, on the other side of his mouth, he'll say, if you say that, like when he confronted us, how did I say that? I forget how I said it. He said, when are you going to truly believe in a true God? And I said, what do you mean, a white man? I said, when a great white man comes down from heaven, then I'll have no choice but believe that God is white. So he got mad and he said, you can't call him white. He's not white. Well, what is he? Is he so-called black, or is he so-called white? Or was he green? When we tell you that he had woolly hair, oh no, it's not talking about his woolly, it's talking about his white skin. But wait a minute. You don't, like I said, you don't believe that he's white. So was he transparent? And then when you go to other scriptures, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. That's a classic scripture that Esau then turned around and made some of you wacky tacky Negro Christians. That's the new name, Negro Christians, plantation Christians. They made you believe that that's not talking about us coming over here to America. When in Revelation, the 11th chapter, America's mentioned in, it was around about the 8th verse, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, also called Babylon the Great. That's America. That's who we are. When they sent gifts to one another, that was slavery. And the gifts, you had to pay for the gifts, but you actually had a person, you would buy a person at an auction, like you go to an auction to buy. I've been to many auctions, car auctions, man, and they'll present the car to you, start it up and all that. Well, that's what they did back there when Jake was in slavery, man. This is hardcore slavery, man. Here you are on the auction, you in the back some goddamn where shackled up. Then they grab your ass and put you on the auction blocks and sell you like you a damn car. You're gonna have to pay for that. And you Edomites, that's why you come against what we say, because we're focusing on you now. You Edomites. And we're telling you that you're the Edomites. That you're not white, you're different shades of red. And then here comes vocab. We got to bring vocab back in. Oh, Edomites were done away with. No proof as to Edomites being done away with. This clown, Pastor David Lynn, the Edomites, and I did a video on him. The Edomites were mixed among all the nations, so we don't know what an Edomite looks like. So who was this white man? Well, we don't know. One of the sons of Japheth. See, we're getting at these people with the truth. Oh, there was another video that was put up by one brother, and Apostle Gabar had went into it about some Jakes. What you can clearly see was a setup. They were paid off, a setup to do it. Here they are bombing a train in the daytime, putting the name of the Most High on the train. And I'm surprised Vocab didn't hop on and say, see, you got Israelites bombing trains. Well, those guys are obviously set up, man. You wouldn't be that stupid. And there's many scriptures that speak about you have to deal with this man's law. You can't go running red lights, even though once in a while people do it. But it's when there's no cars around. You know, everybody does that. They'll see they got to be somewhere, and they'll see a red light and they'll go through it. You know, that happens from here to there. But you in trafficy, you know, a lot of traffic, and you're just gonna blow through red lights. Number one, you're gonna get into an accident, and then you're gonna have to pay a fine. Your insurance is gonna go up. You may get locked up. You may hurt somebody. So there's laws that you deal with, man. If you see a place with a gate on it that says no trespassing, you'd be a damn fool to go beyond that gate. And that train yard that they hit, you probably had signs that say no trespassing. So that was clearly to demonize the Israelites. Because you can't get us with the scriptures. You know, you have Jakes that come against us. And all these people with these different philosophies, they're all stumbling blocks. That's why I don't understand why Captain Zariak would go head to head with these guys. He's been going head to head with these guys for years. We're going back to 2012, 2013, and they still haven't said, you're right, Captain. We are the Israelites. No, you got guys writing books like Garfield writing books on it. You shouldn't be a part of that. None of you Israelites should be on Sarnetta's show. You shouldn't give him the time of day. Because one day he praises the Israelites, and the next day he's shitting on the Israelites. Oh, he was shitting on us, GMS. Now all of a sudden, GMS got the truth. So what is it, man? The scriptures say a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I'm merely paraphrasing. But anyway, let me get into this here. I looked up the word bless, and I knew it was Barak, and the word is Barak, which is Ba, Ra, and Ka, a final Ka, if you understand the Hebrew. Anyway, so the word bless, the meaning of the word bless is bless, salute, curse, blaspheme, blessing, praised, kneel down, congratulate, kneel, make to kneel. So are Edomites bowing down and kneeling down to Floyd Mayweather? No. They talking shit about him. And he's constantly showing how much money he got. They ain't gonna never bow to you, man. A homeless Edomite is not gonna bow down to you because he thinks he's better than you. Money doesn't give you blessings. Having slaves give you blessings. Now, before I put the camera on and did this video, I was thinking about the movie Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy, and that was true blessings. He got up, he had servants, but the thing is, he had Jakes that were his servants. You're supposed to have Edomites as your servants and other nations. And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. The kingdom is going to be pretty much like the movie Coming to America. He had concubines, he had women bathing him. When he would walk, he had women in front of him throwing down rose petals. When he bathed, there was women, scrubbing his Johnson. And he was, and the father said, played by this guy, Darth Vader. And I ran into him years ago. I can't think of his name right now. It'll come back to me. But anyway, he said, do you have sex with your bathers? He said, I know I do. And he was obviously having sex with his bathers. And his father set him up with a woman that was raised to be his perfect bride, meaning she did everything that he said do. So that's how it's going to be in the kingdom. Our women are not going to open up their mouth. They're going to call you Lord. You're going to have many wives. You're going to have more wives than Solomon, man. Because Solomon's kingdom was a taste of what the kingdom is. The kingdom of heaven is going to be like Solomon's kingdom to the 10,000 power. And Esau knows this. I keep saying that. Esau knows that he's an Edomite. The white man knows that he's an Edomite. And he knows that we're the Israelites. Why do you think he's constantly coming against us? because he knows. And he knows he's going into slavery. Back in hardcore slavery, you had to bow to when you see the master come, you had to bow down to the master, man. If you wanted to let it show you in the movie Mandingo, James Mason was like the old slave master. He said he got rheumatism, so he had a little Jake slave, lay down, and he rubbed and he put his feet on the kid's stomach like it was a stool that you put your footstool, and he said that rheumatism will go right out of you, right into that little. He used to call them suckers, little ninjas. So that's hey, when somebody does that, man, that's a blessing to that individual. And going back to what I said earlier in the video, they actually put you on auction blocks, and they split families because you had one slave just wanted a strong buck man slave, or he just wanted some children, or he wanted some little girls so he can deal with them, or he wanted a cook, so he wanted the mother, so the mother would go to one plantation and the father would go to another and the kids would go someplace else. That's cruel, man. And that's what's going to happen to you Edomites. That's your future. You're going to be on the bottom. All you nations are going to be under us, but you Edomites are going to be on the bottom, man. So now when we look up this word, the word Barak actually means, it says to bless, kneel, to kneel. Who's doing the kneeling? Not the one that's blessed, the one that's not blessed. So anytime Esau is down, they're gonna grovel, they're gonna bow down to you, man, and the kingdom. So they don't want the kingdom to come. It said to be blessed, bless oneself, to bless, to be blessed, be adored, to cause to kneel. So true blessing is to cause somebody else to kneel before you. They showed you in one of the Superman series with General Zod. He said kneel to Zod, because that whole thing dealing with the planet Krypton were Israelites. Those were Israelites, man. They had Hebrew names. I did videos on that. Superman's name was Kal-El, which means all powerful. Hebrew. In the Hebrew, his father was Jerel, which is Yara Allah. He will see the Most High. He will see the power. So they're showing you that those were Israelites, and they came from the planet Krypton. Krypton meaning to be cryptic, to be hidden, secretive. So that's the kept secret, that we are the Israelites. We are the people of Krypton. So you can understand. To praise, salute, or curse. So it says to bless, to kneel. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, what I did was one of the precepts I put in bow down, and I'll read one precept here. Genesis 27 verse 29. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down. The mother's son is Esau, to thee. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So now I want to go further into that word. See, I already hit the point. Anyway, this is why Esau cried bitterly pursuant to Hebrews, where the Apostle Paul spoke about Esau. Anyway, it says in Genesis 27 verse 26, I'll start at 26 and I'll read to 30, maybe 37, and then I'll close it. So our blessings are coming. We're going to experience Deuteronomy 28 verse 1 to 1 to 14, 1 to 15. And Esau is going to experience the curses from the 16th verse on down. They're going to be put in the slave ships. They're going to be going back and forth to different parts of the earth. Anyway, it says here in Genesis 27 verse 26, and his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. Remember, Isaac is Yahweh Shai, reincarnated. So who was the son that Isaac loved the most? It was Esau. Who was the son that Isaac hates the most? Esau. Because the Lord is coming back to destroy Esau, to establish Israel's kingdom, to establish Jacob's kingdom. And you just got to come to that realization, Esau, you're going to be on the bottom. 27 verse. And he came near and kissed him and smelled the smell of his remnant and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Now Esau loved that field, man. You know, you got these different magazines, these magazines dedicated to hunting, and you see on the front page, you see an Edomite with a high-powered rifle, maybe with his son. They look just like Edomites, and they got the gear on. Or you see another Edomite with a bow and arrow. Or you see a couple of Edomites, you know, standing around a bull or a deer, and they're kneeling down with their. That's Esau. That's why you think Isaac said what he said. He said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. So Esau is the great hunter. It says 28 verse, therefore the Most High gave thee of the dew of heaven. Now this is the blessing that Isaac is thinking that he's giving the blessing to Esau, his eldest son, but he's actually giving his blessing to Jacob, which the mother of Jacob and Esau was Rebecca, or is Rebecca. And she didn't like Esau. She didn't like Esau, and she loved Jacob. Now the roles are reversed. And the Jake woman is against us now, and Isaac is with us. It says, therefore. Oh, I want to say this too. Another thing is you got certain individuals saying that there's no such thing as Israelites. Israelites never existed. And then for that matter, if you're going to say the Israelites are done away with, you have to say that there's no such thing as Esau. Yeah, there's no such thing as Esau. Vocab, going back to vocab. Oh, Esau was done away with. Okay. You keep dreaming. It says, therefore the Most High gave thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee. Didn't kneel down, bow, and said, let people, this is your true blessing. So anytime some so-called black woman says to another black woman, have a blessed day, that means you wishing that you get some slaves. That's what it means. And when you try to tell these Jakes, these plantation Christian Negroes about slave, no. If they go into slavery, no, I don't want that kingdom. Well, why would you tell somebody bless you, have a blessed day? Which when you translate it, it really means may you have slaves. That's what it means. It said, let 29 verse, let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. be Lord over thy brethren. That's what a blessing is. For people to bow down to you, and for you to be Lord over somebody else, you got to be a Lord. And let thy mother's son Esau bow down to thee. Ultimately, Esau will bow down to us. Curse be everyone that curses thee, and curse and bless is he that blessed thee. Now, has Esau ever blessed us? No. And Yohana believes that he's blessing us with that jab. You got Negroes out there that believe that jab is a blessing. That jab is a curse. 30th verse, and I'm going to close after this. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, he can't take that blessing back, and it was all set up by the father, because the son was Isaac at that particular time. And Jacob was yet scared, going out from the presence. He left quick. He got the blessing and left with it. Man, when you get a blessing, man, you know that Esau is coming. You got the blessing, now get Isaac, the presence of Isaac, his father. That Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it. That's back when Esau knew how to cook. Unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau, because the blessings came to the firstborn. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him? Yeah, and he shall be blessed, and he shall be blessed. And that ultimate blessing is the kingdom. Bear me for a minute. (34th verse). And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried. According to Paul, he said he cried bitterly, with a great and exceeding bitter cry. Yep, he cried bitterly, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. Right, he got the actual birthright of the firstborn, and he got the blessing from his father. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. He said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord. So who's going to rule the next kingdom? The Israelites. Who's going to be our servants? Other nations. Who's going to be on the very bottom, bowing down to us, doing our bidding? Esau and the other nations. And all his brothers have I given, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword. The modern day sword is you got some of these clown ass Israelites saying it's talking about Arabs, because the Arabs got swords on. No, the modern day, the sword meaning weapon. All right. The modern day sword is the gun, the missile, the rocket launcher. 40th verse again. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And they did that after King David and after Solomon. They broke away from Israel because they were slaves under us, and that's where Solomon had his navy, down there around Mount Seir. So Esau's blessing is through the gun. You know, Esau goes to these different nations and tell them what to do because of their superior firepower. But what does it say in Joel 3 verse 9? It speaks about these nations having power as well. Let the weak say, I am strong. What makes the weak strong? The weaker nations, the third world nations, the nuclear, the missiles. So that's an equalizer right now. So people are disrespecting Esau because now they possess missiles. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.